Eric DeCosta said he didn't have a whole lot on his plate. The following year would be a busy year for him. A week ago, or a few days ago, Steve Bisciotti made it clear it was a priority to get Lamar Jackson signed. He wanted to get him signed before free agency opened. So with that, how quickly do you think they get a deal done?
I think it's tricky. Everything with Lamar has been tricky. They've never been on the same cadence as some of these other teams. The way Dallas has done multiple things with Prescott, the way the Bills have done multiple, I'm talking big boy, massive, reset the market contracts with Josh Allen. Their tempo and pace and I don't know, urgency or whatever here hasn't matched the market. And that's cost them repeatedly, and it's costing them now. Lamar doesn't have to do anything.
No.
He doesn't have to pick up the phone. He certainly doesn't have to get on anybody's plane. He doesn't. I mean, we got people in this town who are mad that he doesn't take his full $750,000 bonus by showing up to all the OTAs. He has to do nothing. And for them right now, their plates are pretty full trying to wade through this process, which they have set as. And it's not like you can't walk and chew gum at the same time, but you're doing 2 interviews a day. Those interviews are hours at a time.
You're focusing on this.
You're kind of in this mode. There'll be a little break early next week, and then they're going to go into the second round, and then you're going to be sort of off the grid for a while. So I think time is of the essence. I mean, I've always had a much greater sense of the here and now with this, going back to Lamar becoming Lamar in the first place, and then pretending he was something less than or other than, or because you don't have an agent, or because you were the 32nd pick. You know, we don't have to treat you like a true franchise quarterback in this league gets treated. So I got to see it to believe it. But if they're in Indianapolis at the Combine a month from now, and they're still trying to spend time on the phone with Lamar and not able to chart their course with agents of other teams, free agents, and of their own free agents besides Lamar, who's not a free agent, but is obviously a contractual priority, then make no mistake, they will be shortchanging themselves and their fan base.
Maybe I'm a complete idiot here, but Ken, you always bring up Lucy in the football, that analogy with the Orioles.
Yes.
Maybe that's me in this situation, and very well could end up being that situation. I think this is going to get done before free agency starts. Maybe it's not the Combine, but before the legal tampering period, because you can't be BSing around this. Look, if you want full priority on this coaching search, which quite frankly it should be at this point, and this thing wraps up in the next week to 10 days, okay, that's fine. After that, dude, Eric DeCosta, Sashi Brown, your sole focus is Lamar Jackson for the next month. You have to get this done. You have to.
But just to be clear, that's what the head coach said. And the head coach said, I have no concerns about it, but the former head coach, because you have to make Lamar the highest paid player by exponentially more than the last guy. And that's how this works. And we've lived through it. That is not what Steve Bisciotti said.
It's not what he said, but he acknowledges the fact that, hey,
he said it's a 5-year template and it'll be for more money.
We want to open up another window.
Yeah.
And opening up another window involves doing another contract with Lamar Jackson. Now, if bleep hits the fan and nothing happens, like Steve said, okay, you want to restructure and you're back in this situation in 12 months, but what good does that do?
But if you're Lamar Jackson, and you're not pressed, it's not going to affect your pay scale one way or the other. What do you like? Do you probably want to see this whole coaching staff before you do anything anyway?
No,
which again, now we're getting into February.
Sure.
Like if you're Lamar, do you really want to hash all this out? You're like, hey, Eric and Sashi, you go put a coaching staff together and then call me and I'll tell you what I think of it.
I just see this is way, way, way too pivotal of an offseason for this organization.
Why isn't it already done, though? If it's so pivotal, why isn't it already done?
Again, we can relitigate that. They messed up multiple times, and the Bills were able to do it, but I'm talking the here and now. This is way, way, way too pivotal of an offseason to BS around. You need the cap space. You have a brand new coaching staff coming in. The seat is warming for Eric DeCosta. you have to figure this out prior to the new league year.
I just feel like the difference of the words in a year, whereas a year ago, Eric says, we're in no rush. Like, this is not a big year for me to do anything. Next year's a big year. And then the owner of the team, the guy that writes the checks, tells you it's a priority. He knows what check he's got to write. Like, we can parse through his language, but at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson's going to be the highest paid player in the NFL. Like that, he's a 2-time MVP, should have been 3-time MVP. And I think Steve Bisciotti's smart enough to know that. And if he's saying it's a priority, I'm going to take that guy at his word.
You could take him at his word. I'm going to take him at his deeds. When's it ever been smooth?
It hasn't, but we haven't heard from him before. The last time we heard from him,
I'm sure Lamar has heard from him before.
But I'll say this though. And you'd agree with this, even with what he said Tuesday, that was a 180 from he doesn't deserve my
the last time we heard
won 2 MVPs since then.
I mean,
well, should have won 2. 1-1. Should have won 2.
Yes.
1-1, and then had an even better year,
Yeah.
and they wanted to give it to Josh Allen.